Alright YouTube, welcome back to the channel, KD Gaming 5150. Today I am going to clean my PlayStation that has been sitting here for roughly 4 years, and it has been sitting in this position right here, and it has never been cleaned.
What?
Let's go see how dirty it is. I am working today on a video game system, and not just any video game system, but the Sony PlayStation 5. Yeah! And that's this guy right here. So this is the original Sony PlayStation PS5. It has never been opened, touched, modified, or anything. We got this when Kai was younger. He got it for Christmas one year. I want to say it was like, it was the first year that it came out. So I think 2016, 17, I think 2018, 2020, I think is when it first came out. So we got this in 2020, and we didn't really do much with it for a while until Kai started playing Astro's Playroom, which is the built-in game that came directly on any PS5 console, and that is where he learned how to use the controller for the first time. So it was a great game and exciting. That's not what we're going to talk about today. What we're talking about today is cleaning your PS5. So I've never cleaned this thing ever since we bought it and ever since we used it. Granted, we didn't use it that much until Kai started playing Astro's Playroom, and then we used it seldomly, and now we're using it a lot more. And more recently, I got Kai a set of covers for this guy right here, some blue covers for Christmas, so we're excited to get those put on. But before we do that, I wanted to get it cleaned out, and I wanted to kind of just do a little video on our PS5 and show you how to take the covers off and get everything cleaned up and make sure that your PS5 is running in optimal condition. The purpose of this is I want to clean it up so that way when Kai and I do an unboxing on the new blue plates or covers that we got for the PS5, we'll be able to have a nice clean PlayStation. So let's get started, shall we? So the first thing I want to show you guys is how dusty this is. Look, can you guys see that? See all the dust on the top there and down here on the bottom? This PlayStation sits on the ground next to the TV on its stand, and it stands vertical. I know some people say that standing vertical is not good for it, especially on the original PS5s. It causes the thermal paste to maybe slide off it and not allow it to make good contact with the heat sink, and then you have problems. So we're going to open this up, we're going to see what we got going on, and we are going to clean it all out because I want to make sure this thing lasts for a while, and I also want to make sure that it's nice and clean for the new blue plates. Let's get started, shall we? So this is the bottom stand. Now I heard on the newer PlayStations it doesn't come with one of these. This is kind of a thing that only comes on the sort of older stands. Look at that, I peeled that right off there. I took this right off of the bottom, this dust fur ball. So we're gonna get rid of that. And this is what the bottom looks like right here. It looks like the rubber part's kind of coming off on the stand a little bit. So we'll just kind of spruce that up and push that back in onto the stand there when we get an opportunity to. And we're gonna take this off. So down here, there's a little screw, and it is looks like a flathead screw. You might need a tool for that. I have a screwdriver right here. It's got a fat blade on it right there. You can guys see that fat blade on there. So when we put this right down in here, we'll be able to take that off. A couple of things that I'm going to use for my cleaning of this PlayStation 5 is a screwdriver, some rubbing alcohol, a few paper towels, and also a small handheld vacuum. Now, you can use those compressed air sort of sprayers, but you got to be careful about those because if you put them in the wrong position, they can spray out some of the refrigerant onto your unit or electronic device, and you don't really want that. They also make these electronic sort of compressed air blower things that you could possibly use too. I'm going to use this vacuum for now. Maybe in the future I will get one of those and open it up and review it on the Kai's Dad's channel. But for now, we are going to just be using this little handheld vacuum. Let's get started with take off the stand. So we need this screwdriver here, and we can just put it right into the slot, unscrew it. Now I heard you can use a penny for this too. So if you don't have a screwdriver handy, then just grab a penny because I heard it works just as easily or maybe even easier. Using the screwdriver might not work quite as easily because it's kind of rounded in there and it's almost designed for a penny, not really even a screwdriver. So hopefully if you are having a little trouble locating a screwdriver, you have a penny around or a coin around at least, and you can get that off easily that way. All right, well, it's coming off nicely here so far, and we're slowly getting this unscrewed here. There it goes. So there we are. We got our standoff right there, and then there's the little screw that goes underneath of it right there. So we're just going to set that aside for now. And this is the bottom of our PS5 right here. So our PS5 is a little bit dusty down here. As you can see, it's a little bit dust down there. And the outside case, there's not too much dust on it. I do try and keep it vacuumed up every now and then. And then on the back side here, I'm going to show you, there's not too much dust in those fins or anything like that. You can kind of see some of the residue here of some of the dust, which is what we're trying to get off. So that is where we're starting with on our PS5. I'm going to pull the covers off. To pull these covers off, this is the disk drive side here, basically the bottom here, the bottom and then the top. To get this cover off, we position our PlayStation console like this. So the power cord and everything is facing you towards the bottom. The PS logo on this side is on your left hand. And we just kind of give it a little lift and slide. So we're going to slide it from this point to this point. And we just lift and slide. And that's it. Just a little lift in the corner and slide. And then it comes right off. Okay, I'll put this upside down so you guys can see that. Can you guys see all the tabs on there and sort of see how that would go in there? These tabs right here go into these little slots right there and right here. And then it just kind of slides in and clicks. And then to take it off, we just little lift and slide. Just like that. This is how dusty this cover is underneath. It's not too bad. I've definitely seen a few that are worse than that, but it's not great either. So we got the cover off so we can clean that up. We'll set that aside for now, and we will get that cleaned up, and then we can see all the dust underneath. Do you guys see all this dust under here? Look at it all. There's quite a bit of dust under there. Now we're gonna vacuum. We're gonna vacuum this up and get rid of this dust here. All right, so that's looking a little bit better. As you can see inside of the fan down here, there is some dust down in there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there is some dust down in there. And on these fins over here, there's quite a bit of dust as well. I'm gonna grab a little brush that I use for auto detailing, and I'm going to go ahead and try and swipe out some of that dust in there, try and get as much out as we possibly can. I got this little auto detailing brush. It's sort of a duster brush that I use when I do auto detailing, and it should probably work just fine for this. I'm just gonna use my little vacuum, and we're gonna go to town with the brush. All right, looks pretty good there. Check that out, YouTube. Yeah, we got that all cleaned off on there. And in comparison, you see on the other side that we didn't clean yet to the side that we did clean, it looks pretty good in there, doesn't it? Yeah, it's looking nice. I'm pretty happy about that. Now, we can't get this fan cover off of here, so I think we're going to have to be okay with that at the moment. The cover doesn't allow us to take that off. There's no screws, so we can't take that off. I think it's probably good enough, though, for all intents and purposes. It's definitely cleaner than it was before, at least on this side. Now we're going to go to the cover. I'm going to clean this one off. Just going to do a little vacuum on this. All right, it's nice and clean now. Check that out. It's no dirt left on there and no dust anywhere. So that's nice. We got our white PS5 cover nice and clean again. It's actually white again. All right, we'll set that aside. Now we're working with the other side of the cover. This is the disc side. If you don't have a disc drive on yours, then you have a little bit different console in this one. You have a digital version. Nothing wrong with that, but this is a disc version. It's going to be a little bit different on how you get the cover off, but relatively the same. You can also buy a disc drive for a PS5 that doesn't have one too. If you're wondering if you can get that, yes, you can. So let's get this other cover off over here. To take this cover off, we are going to position our PS5 like this. So the disc drive is facing you, and we're going to just grip it from this corner here. And same thing, we're just going to slightly lift up and slide it down. Just like that. See that? You slightly lift it up and slide it down. Slide it to your right. So we're going to take it from this corner, lift up, and slide this way. Just like that. Okay? So that's the inside of this cover. Not too dusty. Again, pretty good shape, considering I've never, ever dusted this thing off. Just occasional vacuum from the outside ever since Kai got it in 2020 from Santa. And it's 2025 right now. So it's been almost 5 years, is it? No, it's been 4 years. He got it for Christmas of 2020, and now it's January 25. So yeah, 4 years. Never been cleaned on the inside. So it's doing pretty good. Like I said, though, we seldomly use this, and it isn't kept in a cabinet or anything like that either. And now we've got the interior of the PS5. So this is sort of cool because on Astro Bot, the new game, the game of the year, they kind of show the PS5 in shambles and destroyed because it came crashing down. If you haven't checked it out, check out our gaming channel. I'll put it up right over here where we first play Astro Bot. It's a lot of fun. We had a great time doing it. We will continue with more videos for Astro Bot as well. But in regards to the console here that we're working on, it's neat because it kind of shows all those pieces in the game. This is our bottom side or our disk side of the PlayStation 5. This is where you would upgrade your SSD, which I will be doing a video on in the future. On this PS5 here, upgrading the SSD because it is basically full. These original PS5s don't have a lot of space on them, so I did get a new one. I opted for a 2 terabyte version because it's in addition to the existing space you have on the hard drive. So I figured that should be pretty good for a little while longer until hard drive prices come down on the 4 terabyte versions. The 2 terabyte version right now is the best terabyte per dollar or gig per dollar. This is what it looks like underneath here. You guys can see the dust over here and here. So we're going to take our vacuum. We're going to dust all that off again real quick. That's the basic dusting on it. Now we're going to take our brush and go through and do a little bit finer of a dusting or detailing on it. All right, so that's that side of it. We're going to give it a little flip around right here and get to the back portion of it. There we go there. As you can see, we got a little bit of dust in here. I don't know if you can see. You can see we got a little bit of dust in there still. And we got to get all these fins right here. All right, YouTube, so now it's pretty well dusted off. As you can see, we got most of the dust everywhere. There's a little bit more up here in this corner right here I'm not super happy about, so I'm just going to grab that off real quick as well. Okay, that looks pretty good there. I'm pretty satisfied with that. We seem to have gotten all of the dust out from all the major spots there, and it looks pretty good. Now that we've got most of the PS5 console cleaned off, underneath the covers, we're going to get this last cover over here, which is this one here, this disk drive one. And we are going to vacuum this off and clean this one up as well. We got it all cleaned off. It looks really nice here. We got all the dust out of it. It's looking really good in there. Now that we got this cover cleaned off too, I'm going to set that one aside. We'll need those for later, so don't throw them away or anything. Bruh. Unless you are planning to get a new cover set, which they do sell, just like I did for Kai, which we'll be doing on a later video. Now we're going to go ahead and do the outside. So the outside's a little different. The outside has this really nice sort of piano gloss black on the outside. And it is very easily scratched. So for this, I'm going to go to another car detailing item I have, which is a ceramic quick detailer. And I'll show you that in just a second. I'm going to go grab it right now, and a microfiber towel. We are going to clean off the outside of the PS5. And the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to use a couple of gloves to put on my hands and a microfiber towel. And finally, another car detailing item, which is some of this, which is a ceramic quick detailer. Now, you don't need to use a ceramic one. You can use probably anything you really want to, but I have this for auto detailing, and I'm going to use it for the PS5. And the reason we want to do that is the PS5 has this really nice piano black finish on the outside, and we don't want to scratch it up. And the best way to not scratch it up is to use something that won't scratch paint. We're just going to put our gloves on here. I feel like we're doing an operation. We're doing an operation on the PS5. Surgical operation. Doctor, you ready? We're going to just take a couple of light sprays right there on the outside. And then we're just going to gently wipe off our PS5. We just got a microfiber towel, and we're just going to kind of wipe it like this. Just one direction all the way down the front. And then choose a different part of the cloth and all the way down the front like that, and then like that. Now look at it. See how nice that looks? It's nice and shiny again. It looks beautiful. And then we can just go ahead and make sure that it's nice and dry. So use the other side and dry it off nicely. And look at how nice it looks. So now it's nice and shiny again, the way it should be. Not all scratched up, looking really good right there. With the ceramic on this stuff, it makes it so that it has a little bit of protection on there. So hopefully it'll resist dust and kind of make it sort of like a wax coating on there. And that's really nice about this. That's why I decided to use this. And I'm also going to take this stuff and wipe my panels with it. We're just going to give it a nice wipe down on the panels as well. And it will get a nice little coating on there and hopefully also resist dust. We're just going to go ahead and do it on both sides. Why not? And there it is right there. All right. So that one's wiped off nicely. And now we're going to do our other one here. Same thing. We're just going to take it and kind of nicely wipe it on there. We don't want it wet either. We just want it to be lightly damp. So that way it doesn't leave any kind of water, because that's not good for your PS5. Electronics and water don't mix. There it is right there. It's cool how it says Sony right down here in the bottom. You know, it's an official Sony one. And it's got these little sort of PlayStation symbols over here. Have you guys ever noticed that kind of stuff? Where they put like little PlayStation symbols and stuff like that. It's kind of cool. The little Easter eggs you find. We've got our panels wiped off. We've got our PlayStation vacuumed up and all cleaned up again. There's only one more thing that we need to do now, and that is clean our stand, because this thing is super dirty. Same thing, we're just gonna give it a nice vacuum here. And there it is, all nice and clean. So this one has a few scuff marks on it. I don't think we can get those off. We are gonna wipe it down with our auto ceramic detailer again. Just give it a nice little wipe down all around here and make it look nice and pretty again. Sprucing up the PS5, making it ready for its new shell, new case, new look, updating it. All right, that looks pretty good there. We weren't able to get those scuffs off, unfortunately, but it looks pretty good. There's a couple other little things. This has a little damage to it. The little rubber foot kind of came out of the base there. I'm going to try and push it back in. I don't know if it will go back in that well, because it has, oh, look at that, perfect. It went back in nicely. This one here too, it's got a little rubber foot on it. Kind of adjust the little rubber tab over here, and then place it back in the little hole right there. Yeah, look at that. All right, so that's nicely back in place, how it should be. And everything's looking pretty good. So we're going to put this thing back together right now. Very simple, pretty much just the reverse of everything that we just did. I'm going to start with the disk drive side first. And we're going to set our PS5 down right here. And we're going to take our cover. And these little notches, this one here, and the ones up here are going to go into these sort of little grooves. So we just kind of line that up. Basically, you can just let it rest right on there. And then you can just let it slide into place. A little snap like that, and then just make sure that they all went in. Give a little tug on it. All right, perfect. Now we're just gonna flip it over. There we go. And we've got our other cover with the PS logo, non-disc drive side, or if you have a digital one, it will be the side with the PS logo on it, and the other one will be blank. So then we'll stick this on here. Just make sure that it kind of rests into place. It will kind of just fall into place, and then we just give it a little push. Snaps right in. Perfect. And then we've got our stand. So we'll put our stand back on, and for that, I'm actually going to flip it upside down, because I think that's going to be the easiest way to do it. And we are going to take these hooks and make sure we hook them right here on the back into the right spots. So we just hook them on there like that, let that fall into place, grab our little screw and put that in. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this in with a coin this time to see if it's easier, or see if it even works. So that way you don't have to worry about getting a screwdriver that didn't actually work that well in the first place. Just for ease, I got a quarter here. You might not want to use a quarter. A quarter has these kind of ridges on the outside, and it might mar something up. But it does work out really nicely. It's very simple to put on the coin and just kind of give it a little twist here and twist it into place. A little snug up there, and boom. We're all back together and ready to continue the gaming sessions. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing PS5 and the condition that it was in, even though I've never cleaned it in the entire amount of time. If you did enjoy the video, hit that thumbs up button. If you're enjoying the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button. And that's the end of the game. Thanks for gaming with us. Game over. We'll see you guys on the next game. If you're interested, click one of these other gaming videos. We'll see you on that game.